This is Lily, and this evening I am going to be making a necklace, uh, one similar to this one that I made before. It's approximately 21 inches long from this part all the way to this part. So I will be making another one of those, just a quick one, and I'm making it pretty much the same colors. I'm making it with let's see if you can see this. I'm making it with this bead. And every now and then I might add a little bead like this. Can you see it? It's hard to see. And to make it a little blingier, I have these tiny little, it's hard to see, they're little rondelle. And sorry about the nails. And I'm going to put it in spacing. So I have two strands of about 26-inch 7-strand wire, which is from Vlogmas. It's 7-strand wire. This is a nice wire to start out when you're beginning beading. As you get more comfortable, you can go with a 49-strand, which is a really good wire. And you can do other things. You can also do this with monofilament or fishing line, or point zero for these beads, 0.008 beading thread, fire line, or wildfire. So I'm gonna bring this down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so here's my beads. These are my little red ones. These are my rhinestone spacers right here, and these are my big rondelles. And so what I do usually, I have something where I can clamp the end, but you can put a piece of tape on the end, and that'll help the bead stay. But I like to work on both ends because I don't know when I want to change it, and if I put a loop or something on the end, then I can't change it. So what I do is decide how many beads I want to put on. For instance, I'm going to put on, I think I'll put 7 in the middle, and then I'll see how it looks. Or I'll just keep talking and I'll just see how many I put in the middle, and we'll just change it. And you don't need a needle because this has a nice little, the wire has a nice little point. So you can pick them up and put them on, which is sometimes easier, and sometimes it's easier just to scoop them up. But I think I'm going to put on, you go over there please. Okay, I have 8 beads on. And that'll hang kind of in the middle there. But what I think I'm going to do is add one more and make it a 9. I know that's an uneven number, but it works. And then I'm going to take one of these little rhinestone rondelles and put one on each end. That's why I like to work with both ends, because then I can see how it's going to look in the middle. Now I could have broken it up and put one in the middle, but I decided not to do that. Now what I'm going to do is take one of my smaller beads, in fact I'll put 3 on each side. And it's a good idea, it's a good idea to take, I said that 3 times. It's a good idea to take a picture when you get it the way you want it, because in case you have to stop for any reason, then you can look at that picture on your phone and come back and do it the way you were starting to do it rather than trying to figure it out. And since we have technology, we should use technology. It comes in handy. So I'll just put the 3 on this side, and then I'll decide if I want to put another rondelle on. You know, that's kind of nice. I might want to put another rondelle and transition it. Or I think I'm gonna make this my small strand, because if you notice on this one, it's it's double. There's one that's shorter than the other. So therefore, I think the one I'm working on now is going to be the smaller of the two. So I'll decide. I think I'll put 5 beads on each side, 5 of these smaller ones, and then I'll do another rondelle. Okay. And sometimes when you're dealing with these faceted beads, it's hard to see. Okay. People have different preferences on how they put their beads on. Oops, I got too happy. I need to take one off. Because we want 5 on each side, then one of these rondelles. And then I'll go into these big beads. I'll probably put roughly 5 on the side, and I'll see how long that is. Now, this is my smaller part. I don't think I want to go any further than that. I couldn't measure it up against this one, but when I made this one, I just eyeballed it. Well, I guess I could add a couple more. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I'll do 5 more and be done with it. Mm, 5 more may be a bit much. Maybe I'll just do 3 on each side. And then I'll just lay this aside and just string the other one. Now, I might just string it plainly. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Then again, I might just put one in the middle. Okay, so this is my smaller strand. So I'm going to put this aside. This is the smaller strand. I'm going to put this right here, over here, so I don't mess with it. And then I'm going to get my other piece of wire, which is exactly the same size. And now I'm deciding, how do I want to do that? Do I want to make it different, or do I just want to just bead all the I think I'm going to start a little different. I'm going to put a rondelle in the middle this time. And then I'll probably pick up about maybe 9 beads on each side. As you can see, I like to do odd numbers. That's from working in the floral business because a lot of our flower arrangements are done threes and just odd numbers, threes and fives and sevens to make. But anyway, that's what used to be done back when I used to do it. 2, 4, 6, 7. Maybe just 7 on each side. This is rather boring with me just sitting here stringing this. So after I get it strung, I will come back. Okay. Sorry. Okay, now I am back. And what I've done is I've strung my, this is my top row that I had before. And this is my bottom row. And my bottom row started out with 3, 6, 9 in the middle. This is 9 in the middle. Then I went to 5 little ones. And then 5 big ones. Let's see. Let me get this straight. I may have put that. Okay, this is the middle. 9, 5 on each side. And then I did 5 big ones and 5 big ones again. And so now I need to do 5 more on this side and then put these in. Because I gotta remember this, I'm gonna put it right here on this crease. This is the middle. Yep. So it's just a matter of putting 5 more of these on. 1. If you're making it all the same, you could do all the same beads. You don't have to use 2 different types or 3 different types. Like on this one I used 4 different types of beads. But on this one I'm just using actually 3. The key is to make sure you have enough beads. Okay, so now that I have, well, I'm getting mixed. Now that I have these 5, I think I put these on and I picked it up and it fell off and I just assumed they were for something else. Okay, so I have 5 on it. I have my middle here. And then I have these are the same, these are the same, these are the same, and these are the same. And I'm going to put, see, I'm going to put this over here. So now what I'm going to do is get these little beads out of the way. Get these out of the way. Since I know this is the main part, now I have to figure out where do I want to attach this. Can you see this? Oh, go back some. There we go. Okay. Now, this is the bottom part, and then I have to connect this to this. So now I'm trying to decide where I want to do it. Do I want it to come down here a little bit more? I think it would be good if I came down right about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to try if I put it, this is where I'm putting it, right here.
exactly what we were doing. And you know what? I think we needed a change of scenery, huh? Ugh, I know.
So what I decided to do is just go through. I put a on the first strand here, down here, this one. I put another little bead there so it can fit in better. And then I just went through these two beads, these two right here, these two. I'll see if I can pick this up and show you. See, I just went through these two and this one on each side. And you play around with it until you get it to hanging the way you want it. So this is how it's going to hang. It's going to hang like this. And so now what I do is I just take and even up these wires. And I add, oh, probably about 10 beads on each side with both wires going through this time. Sometimes they get a little strange, but and you'll do this. And you'll do this on both sides. You'll do 10, or how it depends on how far you want it to hang. You measure it like this, how you want it to hang. If you want it to hang like this, or if you want it to hang more. On this one, I did it differently because I wanted it to hang differently. So, but you can fiddle around with it. And if you're making just a quick necklace for Christmas for someone, don't put the second strand in. Just get you about 26 inches, depending on what you want to do. 26 inches of wire. And just bead it, be 24 inches of wire, which means you'll have about an inch on each side. And you'll make you put a crimp bead on it, which I'll show you what that is. But for, if I was using, I could do this same thing with Mato, I can't speak, with fishing line. I could do the same thing with fishing line. And so then what you would do is you would just tie a small knot right here to hold it in place while you go through your clasp. And I like to use toggle clasps because toggle clasps are easier for if it's only one person doing it. This is a toggle clasp. This is what it looks like. There's two parts, this part and the loop part. And what I would do, I will show you the crimp process, what you do. There are these special beads that they call crimp beads if you're using wire. If you're using fishing line or thread, you don't need a crimp bead. And what you do is you take the crimp bead. I'm going to just use a gold one so you can see. This is after you get it to the size that you want. You'll do this. These beads are very small. And what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to go through. These beads are tiny. And you're going to go through the wire with both strands. This is, and then after you go through the wire, I'll show you this. You have this, oops, go back up there. If I was finished beading this, it would be, I would want it to go down there like this. There's a little tiny bead here. Let's There's a little tiny bead. Very tiny. Okay. I put both wires through that. Then I put on my clasp, whichever end, it doesn't matter whichever end you want to use. And then what I have to do is go back down through that same, go back down through the same little gold bead that I put on with both threads. And it went through pretty easy. And you would pull it all the way down till it's down here, and hold this like this so you can see. And see, you have this little loop. You would make it a little, pull it tight, make it a little smaller. And then what you do with this little tiny bead that you can barely see, that little gold bead, you would take your pliers. These won't work. You take your pliers and you squeeze it. And you just squeeze on there. And once you squeeze on there, then you would try to tug at your wire. And if your wire moves, then you need to push down harder. I could use this to do it with too. And that is it. Stay tuned and I'll show you the finished product. And here's also the pliers that you'll need. And you will need, these are wire cutters that you will be using to cut the wire. Continue to take the wire through a few more beads, pull the wire tight, and use these cutters here to cut it. Thank you for being here. See you soon.